Now I think I'm getting to the point where I really want to start focusing in on trains, and getting the trains up and running should be something that we need to start working on very, very soon. And I think trains are going to be pretty important for us to be able to commune with one another as we continue on and we push into making our own large factories. But there is something that is technically preventing me from just jumping right on into trains, and that is lava. Yes, I am going to need to start collecting lava in some capacity and or eventually make myself an infinite lava pit here in the overworld. But an infinite lava pit, well, is quite the large project. I mean, very large project, as I would essentially need to fill an entire hole that is a 16 by 16, an entire chunk that is at least 40 blocks deep. Now, there may still be some exploits that allow you to technically get around it being that size. It still needs to be that size, but you don't technically need 10,000 source blocks. Maybe, unless it's been fixed. It's probably been fixed, but I tell you what, that is kind of a massive project in itself. So I was thinking today, just to sort of get us started, maybe we can make a contraption that can store a large amount of lava that allows us to just pop back in as we need to just grab a bit of lava, store it, and then have a way of automatically pumping it back out into other systems as we sort of move along. So yeah, a portable fluid contraption. That's going to be my goal for today. Now I do want to check on the villagers. Whoa. Okay, villagers should be well protected. What is going on over here? I mean, we do have villagers. They are looking mighty fine over here. But where's all the iron golems? What? These guys are all elite. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got. Saul, you were collecting golems. You're welcome to Jojo. Jojo literally what is going on with my farm? Why is it producing so many iron golems? Have I just in some way accidentally made a massive iron golem farm? It's what it feels like. I tell you what, I have no idea how to clean this up either. This is just an absolute mess. Now, what I'm about to do may be a really bad idea for clearing these guys out, but it must be done for science. For science. Okay, they don't seem that bothered by it. I am so surprised this guy is not trying to run after me. Okay, I guess we're good. Yeah, this actually might be the way to do this. I mean, I could probably also use lava. That would also be kind of helpful, wouldn't it? You know what? I'll use some of the iron that they dropped for me and grab a bucket of lava, which I do have a lava pit that happens to be right under here inside of this little sneaky hole. And yeah, this will take care of them. I mean, honestly, what's the worst that could happen here, right? I mean, if I place that there, oh boy. Yeah, this is going to be a mess, isn't it? Oh, what have I done? This is an absolute mess. Okay, much better. Yeah, definitely keeping those guys in there. I think there's still a few stragglers that are laying about, but I think for right now, problem sort of solved. So I guess it's now time to start thinking about how to actually build out the contraption that should allow me to go to the nether and then pump out lava directly from the nether or any large pool of lava. So to do that, I think the first things first, define how large I actually want the storage tank to be. And I think if I keep going here, I can go up to 7 blocks. I want to do a 3 by 3 by 7 tall. And so this should be just enough to be able to do that, which will allow me to store 504 buckets of lava in this size tank right here. Now on this, I'm gonna need a way to get fluids in and fluids out. So I think on the front is kind of how I'm gonna do that. But I do need to flip some things around. If you use the wrench on here, you can actually rotate the direction of our pumps. This is our first time actually using some pumps here. And then this arrow is actually pointing out, which is kind of what I want. However, whenever I do start to pump fluids out, we're gonna have both of these running. And that means I kind of for now want to loop back in on itself to prevent lava from being thrown out. Because if you didn't know, mechanical pumps can actually place lava in the physical world. So it would actually just start to place lava right here, which is not something I want to do. Now this is nice and compact, and if I want to add to this, I just simply add a pipe, and then I can remove this if need be down the road. But for right now, this is how it's going to go. And we need to start now thinking about how we're going to power some of these things. and also like how we are going to get fluids, right? Fluids in will come from a hose pulley, and this is where we're actually going to get our lava. So we'll have to put a hand crank on here to be able to move this down, for example, to be able to pump and reach the bottom of a lava pool. Now, I think a hand crank is going to be just fine for that. It could be connected up to the power system here, but it makes it a little bit more complicated when doing that. Now let's get to the fun part. How are we actually going to power this? And that is going to be done with water wheels. But you might be thinking, water wheels in the nether? Like, no. You can't place water in the nether. You can't. But you can place lava. And if you didn't know, these can actually be powered with lava. Now, we're going to get to the lava stuff here in a second. But what I do want to do is I want to place a gear ratio up top here on both of these pumps to the side with a large cog. And then I want to use a rotational speed controller. And whenever you place it underneath like this, you can directly place the rotational speed controller in a position where it connects automatically. And you can see there's the port. There's a whole lot of clipping going on right here, but that's just something we have to deal with for now. To bring the power over to this, I'm going to use the chain drives. And just 3 of them gets the job done. It allows me to bring that right to where the water wheels are at. And I did some testing, and the exact rotation that this can support is going to be exactly 64. Plus, you got to give the gear ratio, or keep that in mind, because it's also gear ratioing up. So I believe it's closer to 128 on the actual rotational speed, that is. And the cool thing about the actual pumps is the rotation direction doesn't actually matter. You choose that whenever you use the wrench. And yeah, that's basically it. You just get to pick the direction. So look at that. This right here is the basic sort of setup for this this portable fluid collecting and sending station. Now, in its current state, it honestly looks kind of cool. Like, it kind of has a steampunk feel. Almost looks like it could be part of like a rolling like robot or something like that. But I think right now this is really going to start to change this up. So I do want to get some stairs that lead up, just like so, and I want to start placing in some scaffolding, and this is primarily so we have somewhere where we can force lava to flow directly down over these water wheel fans right here, directly through the back. And so, you know what? This is going to probably look really, really good. I just need to bridge over some of this scaffolding, and while I'm up here, might as well take advantage of this. And yeah, I'm going to place this out, I think, too wide so I can add some reinforcement. But this right here is really where the important part is. We have to make sure we get this bridged over like this. And that way we have a perfect spot to place lava. Otherwise, it's going to want to fan all over the place. Now, right here would probably be a good spot to place in a barrel. Well, not there, but if I can go ahead and get it into a good position, I would like to have it placed like perfectly looking up and down. This is where we're going to store our, there we go. This is where we're going to store our lava buckets. And it's just going to make it a little bit easier because we will have to remove the lava and place it in after we place in the machine. That is kind of the only caveat with this. And like, I had a whole idea by using like dispensers to place in the fluid by just pushing a button. But for some reason, contraptions trigger the actual redstone on those immediately when forming a actual contraption. I don't know why it does this, but once it does that, you're left with lava spewing out, and it just goes everywhere because a contraption doesn't have a physical form, and thus there's nothing to keep the lava contained. And like, I also couldn't get the lava to just be picked back up by it either. It's just super janky. Now OSHA's gonna be yelling at me if I don't add some railing, so up top I'm just gonna add some andesite railing to make this a little bit safer so I don't happen to accidentally fall off. But now with this in place, we can see how this is going to work. I'm gonna take my lava bucket, place it in right here, and step back. And you'll see right here, magma wheel under pressure, and the whole wheel has kicked off and is now working. And this is what I've had in mind. So now anytime I have a pump area, the place I need to be pumped, I can literally pump it. And on the other side, when we want to actually send out, we can place the lava in there, and this will allow me to pump the lava into anything else I want. Yeah, I'm having a hard time containing my excitement, but it's just like I'm finding solutions to all of these problems with Just Create. So yeah, portable tank. I've got it right here. And that's exactly what this is. It may be quite large, but it will fit in my pocket, technically. So to be able to put it in my pocket, I have to glue this whole thing together and have a cart ready to go. So the gluing part, well, that's where things get a little bit more complicated, or at least I think gluing can sometimes be a lot to handle, really. And it is really embarrassing when you get the whole thing glued together only to figure out that you missed a spot. So yeah, about that being embarrassing, let's hope that I didn't actually miss anything and that this whole thing is technically all in one piece. And we'll find that out when I put it in my pocket by shift right clicking. You didn't see anything? You didn't see anything at all? Just kind of glue this together, do this and connect that into there. And yeah, you didn't see anything. I think it's all glued. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Nothing like getting it done all on the first try. Perfect. I kind of want to rename this just so I don't lose track of them, and we'll call this lava pump. Really, it can be any pump, but I'm most likely always going to be filling this with lava. So I guess now we need to go test this out by going into the nether. Now, I don't have my own nether portal just yet. I would have to link one specifically to my base in order to get that to happen, which will happen very, very soon. But my goodness, there's so much that is starting to happen over here. It's just, there's entire areas being developed. I did connect my path. The Beardy's over here, so Mr. Beardstone, I do have a beautiful path connected over here to his fishing area, which this place is just looking really, really nice. Just look at this. It's really nice that we formed our HOA here, you know, just to make sure that everything looks good. I still have an unfinished top section. Ignore that. No, but in all fairness, I do need to finish that today. I think we'll definitely be able to get that done at some point. Now, where exactly is that nether portal? Oh, perfect. There it is. Yeah, right here. So we just have to make our way down the hallway. And I wonder what's actually happened on the other side of this portal. Oh. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? Okay, there is a ladder here, though. I'm assuming this is a way down. Oh boy, I wasn't expecting to just be on the nether roof, but I get it, I guess. Aha. Okay, so I guess this was where our original portal was at. So yeah, it's actually not too far away. Now I do remember there being a lot of lava just in this direction here, so I just have to do a little bit of nether travel. I should be fine for the most part. If not, I do have a trusty bow. And you know what? I don't actually have... I don't have any gold on. That's going to probably end up leading to... I'm going to go grab some gold real quick. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. Nope, you stay. You stay there. Hey, stay back. I literally just put gold on, and I was like, yeah, hoglins can still get me. Oh, goodness. But at least these guys are looking at me much, much nicer than earlier. Aha. And I think I have located it. It definitely looks like a very, very large lava pool right here. I just have to put myself in a position. Maybe right over here somewhere? Yeah, and then I could lure my thing down into the lava and tap that mantle. I think that's definitely what we're going to need to do. Now, I did go ahead and use cobblestone just to make sure that gas doesn't pop over here and give me my run for the money. But let's go ahead and place this down. Car contraption up. And there we go. It is now in and perfect. I just have to literally break a few blocks to allow this to go down. Oh, man, a few blocks. I thought I got it back a little bit further than that. Oh man, did I messed up that much? All right, I'm still gonna push it back a little bit further. Let's see. Eventually we'll get this. It does have to have an absolutely clear area. This seems really dangerous what I'm doing here. Perfect. Not dangerous at all, not one bit. And now with that done, I've got to drop this thing all the way down to the bottom. It's gonna take a while. Thankfully I have a lot of food. But once it does stop moving, I know that I have probably reached the bottom. You know what? I just heard a noise. I just heard it. Oh, don't think I can shoot it from here, but we are a little exposed over here for that to be flying around. Oh, goodness. I hope it despawned. Ooh, Okay, so I think it's definitely busy. We have now reached the bottom. It isn't going down anymore. So I'm going to pop on up here, grab my lava, and get it placed in. And we should now, be tapping the mantle. And notice it says an absolute bottomless supply. And so, given a little bit of time, I could probably clean up some of the quartz and stuff. Look at this. We are easily going to fill this up to 504 buckets of lava in no time. Ooh, and also while this is filling up, I can go ahead and probably start my tunnel down to the, well, netherite level. Ancient debris level? Yeah, that one. Ooh, nice. While mining down, I mean, this opens up and gets us all the way down into the lava lake level. But I still gotta go a bit further down, so I'm gonna continue my way, hopefully avoiding all of the lava. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, okay. Yep, that was me asking for it. I don't want no part of that. Wonder if I go back down there, are they going to be calm? Are they going to be mad? I really don't know. I mean, I should be able to easily take them out. Yeah, no, they're still effectively mad at me. Okay. Ow. That hurts quite a bit. That actually was, ow. Like, why? Why did that hurt so bad? I don't even get it. All right. You're gone. Goodness. Now these magma blocks are going to be kind of nice as well. I definitely want to collect a few of those. We can turn these directly into obsidian, believe it or not. And look at that. You can't make this up. Right as I was mining down, look what I found. I found my first ancient debris. So I'm going to nab that. Was it just a single vein though? Oh, I think it was literally just a singular vein, but it is our first. Now, typically Y level 15 would probably be one of the best levels to mine in, but I think with our drill, if we're going to actually use a drill for this, I mean, sticking around Y level 13 to 12 is probably also going to be pretty darn good. And it gives us a nice vertical range and an even deeper range down here too. So perfect. Now using a drill down here is very, very dangerous, and I don't think I'm quite equipped for mining down in here just yet. But I think at this point, now that I've got this whole mine set up, I mean, at this point, we should be able to head back, and I think our tank should be completely filled. And looky there. Yes, the thing is completely filled. Our lava drill is now ready to go. This is going to be perfect. Now, before I pick it up, I do want to make sure and collect the lava. That is like one of the big things, right? We just have to make sure that it gets scooped up. Don't have to worry about the residual lava staying in there, but everything else just like that. And then we contraption it up, and then we just pick the whole thing up and we take it back home. It does look like I am going to have to fight my way home. Oh my goodness. Yep, we got some porkers over here trying to come at us. Nope, you guys stay. Whew, all right. Where's that elevator through here? Not an elevator yet. The andesite ladder's up. I mean, maybe this will eventually be an elevator. That'd be nice. So now that I have all of the lava basically stored in my pocket, I need to use that lava. And that's where I was thinking I can go ahead and get some sort of basic workshop structure set up for sturdy sheet production and also train track production. This is all going to lead us into just being able to make some of these basic components, not only for decorating, but also prepping ourselves for actual trains very, very soon. And I think I know just the spot. Like, I was going to actually start working on clearing out this area right here. So I want to lead this over. I'm going to have a little mine shaft right here. And then this is going to lead up into a little workshop that's going to be able to hold this. And I've even marked the place right here. And within this chunk should be beautiful. So I guess now is the time for a land clearing time lapse. Let's begin. it was a little bit more than just terraforming, as I actually ended up getting the entire foundation of the build basically done that is going to house the production or semi-production of the rails and also sturdy sheets. Now, this is the area that I kind of want to place my contraption in that is going to link into some of these systems, but I don't know if I made this big enough. I thought originally it was going to be big enough, but now that I'm looking at it, maybe not. We'll have to test. And one of the easiest ways to test something like this is to, for example, just place it in, but not place it in immediately. So I have this area contained in, and if I want to test out an area, I can place my rail in, and then I can put my card assembler and then just automatically give it a redstone signal, and that's going to hold it in its contraption form. So when I place this down, I can actually get a pretty good representation of what it's going to look like placed in here. And actually, right where it's at is going to be more than enough from the looks of it. So perfect. With the knowledge of this being in this position, I'll just make sure to mark this place on the floor here. And yeah, that way we know this is the place that this needs to be placed in. Now, I do want to start before decorating, actually get the main concept up before how we're going to semi-automate a few things. One second, let me take that off. Much better. Now, let's talk setup. Now, to be able to actually make the sturdy sheets, I believe that I can get away with only using one mechanical press for this. However, this might actually have to change in the future. But we need to basically pipe half a bucket of lava onto some crushed obsidian, and then all of that combined together will then be pressed and then spit out over here. And I think we're gonna have to use a brass funnel that'll allow it to set on here long enough to be smashed a second time, and then make sure we filter specifically sturdy sheets going in here. This is basically the automation for that. We got to give it some power and all that fun stuff, which we'll work on in a second, but let's talk about the next step. Now, this does require 2 deployers unless you have some sort of interesting loop. Now, in this particular setup here, I am going to use 2 deployers, just going to make life a little bit easier. And then we have to have it pressed at the end, receiving some sort of stone slab and iron nuggets. Thankfully, we have a ton of iron nuggets, so that's not going to be a problem at all. But the deployers, we just need a place on here, just like that. It's super, super simple. And then bam, like that, we place a press. Now, to allow the items to go in, we'll have a funnel here and a funnel here and a funnel here and a funnel here. All of that should work out just fine. And then we can use something like a chute, for example, to be able to fit in all of our iron nuggets. Oh yeah, and with a setup like this, we can have 2 chutes and then use a chest to evenly distribute the actual items. And keep this trick in mind, because this is actually used quite a lot, and I think it's one of the most underused things that you can do to help with logistical stuff inside of Create. Because while we do have item vaults, and item vaults allow you to carry items up to 3 blocks, don't forget that a chest is basically a 1x2 item vault, and it's way cheaper. Now let's go ahead and set this in place. Whew, I had to like hold my breath for a moment on that one. I just want to go ahead and get some of the fluid piped around. I really love the way these pipes look, by the way. And I can just connect just like that into here. Might have to break off this connection temporarily, but that should feed lava all the way over here, and we can go ahead and do stuff like this to be able to see the lava actually flowing once we get this all basically turned on. But yeah, to be able to power this all, I mean, a speed controller and possibly more water wheels might be the early game solution for this. I mean, I would also love to set up a windmill, but I just don't think 8,000 stress units is going to handle all of this. Running at max speed, I mean, maybe? But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself with power here. I'm going to use some encased chain drives. Those are going to make their way all the way over here, connecting everything up through the front. And then in the back here, yes, I'm going to break through, and we're actually going to make sure the rotation is spinning in just the correct way to have this side linked up and then also this side linked up. That way we can have stress running through both sides. And we'll just make sure to get our stress flowing through this back area here. And you know what? Instead of a water wheel, I think I've had a change of heart. I think I'm going to end up going with a windmill. But I do have to come up with a design for a windmill that will work and also not be super hard to build. We don't have a jetpack or anything like that to be able to make this process easy yet. So I'm gonna have to design something interesting. So I've done it. I have designed a windmill, and I designed this windmill over on the test server, and that means that I'm going to be pulling it over into my world here inside of our server with a schematic cannon. Now this also allows me to show off how cool the schematic cannon is, because not only can the schematic cannon build your schematics, it can also place glue for you, which in my opinion is the worst part about building a windmill. Now I do want to mention I did take some inspiration off of Beardy's over here, and I really like the idea of having the scaffolds going over the top. Now, not all of them are scaffold, but the top has been decorated up here. But I did like the idea of branching off the middle section with scaffolding. And I'm also going to be doing a vertical spinny one, but mine is going to be a little bit different. Now, early on, the schematic cannon can be kind of expensive, but in our case here, this should be more than fine. Cool thing about the schematic cannon is I can actually place it directly on my truck. Yeah, it's going to work. And I can then use a clipboard to build a list after I've assigned my schematic. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and go into our schematic table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the new one, which is the windmill chosen V2 that I just designed. And we're going to load that onto here. And we also get to preview it in the world. So you're going to actually get to see really what this looks like once I place it down. It is going to be rather large, and it's also going to be pretty neat having an actual spinning like things that's moving in my base. I think that's going to be really, really cool. I'm going to tell you how you can use some of this. So I'm going to place it right here, and you're already going to get an idea of what this looks like. Yes, pretty darn cool. You can actually hold down control and you can move the schematics and stuff like that into place. And if you're inside of it, you also need to look at the direction, and you're able to pull it in and out, right? Just by looking at the face. That's how all of the controls are going to work. Now it looks like I need to pull this one more and then hold down Alt, and I can move it up vertically. And I'm thinking right about here might be a good height. Actually bringing it down a little bit might work. Like 1. I think this is actually perfect. And the cool thing, we can go all the way over here and we can take a step back and just look at this. And we can go, is that good? And you know what? I think that actually fits the building really, really well. Now that I have my schematic in place, let's take a look at our schematic cannon. And I want to just place it in here and then build a checklist. And this is going to tell me all the ingredients that I'm going to need that I don't already currently have in my item vault. So you can see all of the scaffolding. I'm going to need industrial iron. I'm going to need 2 super glues for this, as it is going to use the glue. It's so cool that the schematic cannon does that. And then the wind sails, I'm going to need 116 of them, and then 42 wool. This actually uses a little bit more than the 128 that is needed to get the maximum 8,000 stress units out of this. So just keep that in mind. I did it for aesthetic. Now you're supposed to be able to literally use this, the clipboard to request the items for your schematic cannon. But in this case, my actual storage is actually where it's pulling for the schematic cannon. But if I was to right click on here, you notice it will already request the items that are needed. However, it's not going to request the auto crafts that are needed, aka all of the wind cells. So I just crafted up everything that the checklist said it needed, and then I pull this over here, take a look, and everything is now green. It also, by the way, tells you over here how many stacks it would also equal, plus the actual excess amount. So if you needed to know how many stacks of something you needed, it actually breaks it down really, really well. I love this so much. So all we have left to do now is to place some gunpowder in here and then to check our printer settings. There are some really cool settings and ways that you can actually use this outside of just placing in schematics like this because of this replace solid with empty. This will allow you to clear out areas that you have defined in your schematic as air blocks, which is kind of cool. But we really just want to keep with the replace solid with any. That is going to be more than fine. And then also, if you wanted to build something within something and you didn't actually want it to replace any of the existing blocks, yeah, there's just so many good settings here. Like this is exactly what this is for. So now that we have all of that defined, all we have left to do is just simply hit the play button. And this is going to start ripping the build and getting this placed in so quickly. And the fact that it glues everything together is just icing on the cake, right? I mean, I spent a little bit of time building this in a creative world to be able to pull this over into this world, and you can do it too. No matter what server you're on, this will work. This will work. So yes, it is a local schematic folder. You don't need anything special. And I'm also going to be sharing this schematic with you over on my Discord. So be sure to join the Discord and check it out. I'll have it pinned in the general channel, and you guys can use this in your world as well and have it to enjoy. And I think that was literally it. It was just finishing up the glue, and we can actually see the entire thing is glued together. Oh, that is just absolutely beautiful. And the only thing we need to do now is just simply place a windmill bearing on the bottom and then run our shaft down. Now I can also go in here and replace all of these blocks, and all of the glue can actually stay in here as well. Just another little great thing. But right here is where we want to connect into. So I'll do a vertical gearbox, probably 2 of them, right? We're going to have one here. That's going to extend to this vertical gearbox. And then we just need to bring this up. And on the bottom here, we need to place in a windmill bearing. This is what's going to allow the windmill to work. And then let's see, let's set this to north facing. No, that's up facing. There we go. And so that is converted. And then we just bring the shaft down. And then we also need to check our rotation here. We might have to actually add another gearbox in here, but we right click with an empty hand and it has now started. Oh, and this is just going to be a beautiful thing to see spinning off in the distance. And let's go check. Is our rotation correct on our belts? All of this is spinning. It doesn't seem like the rotation is going to be correct. So yes, I am actually going to place in another gearbox. No, wait, I don't need a gearbox. I need a rotational speed controller down here. I completely goofed on that. So I do have to place in the rotational speed controller somewhere within here. Now with the rotational speed in here, we need to flip the direction and set this to 256. And that is going to be more than enough to support it. I did the math, and this will easily run at 256, no problem whatsoever. We just have to get the belts hooked in, and now this is ready to rock and roll. And just to make sure and test this, I'm going to drop in the nuggets here. That should evenly distribute the nuggets into there. And then we place our slabs, and look at that. This is now producing train tracks for us. And also the same should happen over here. But to test that out, I do have to wash some magma blocks, then take the obsidian generated from that and then crush it. Then I also need to activate my pump over here by placing in my lava, just like so. And then once that is initiated, that should kick on the pump. And well, we should have lava forming in our spout. And now I can just send my obsidian powder to this, and that will get pressed into sheets. I forgot a funnel here, didn't I? Yeah, I almost forgot. And I think on this, we definitely want to filter this to sturdy sheets, just like that. And I can toss that one back in, and it should sit there and be pressed. Oh man, is this one of the things that I'm gonna have to change? Oh, I might have to change this. I was kind of worried this was going to happen and this was actually going to be an issue. But it's honestly an easy fix, because the barrel right here will actually cause the items to be blocked and not really be able to go anywhere. But I mean, we are going to tell it, hey, make sure to send the process items into this barrel right here. So yeah, problem kind of solved. We have to kind of rotate this, make sure it is pulling from this direction. And then I also have to figure out a way to get down and back in here to be able to put the filter in, because I think this is going to need and benefit from a filter, but I can get underneath here perfectly fine. Perfect. And then place that in. And now I think this is a little bit better. Yeah, and there we go. Sturdy sheets now flowing in, and then this side will also work. I mean, this is perfect. I think this is really starting to come together, and I'm starting to decorate a little bit by adding a few little lights out to the outside, a little bit of girders, which is really, really nice, and some different techniques here to kind of make this look a little bit more train-esque, even though it's really going to look good once we actually add in a few broken tracks out here. You know, because after all, this is the train workshop. Oh man, it is definitely what I was expecting. I wanted to set out and add a little bit of decoration, train tracks sprawled all about, making it actually look like it's a train area, like we're actually developing and building and making train tracks. And of course, there will always be failed tracks that will be sprawled out around factories and things like that. Of course, that's just how every like machine shop ever looks like that I have seen. And yeah, we have some that are actively in the works in here that are being made. Got some anvils, Got some shelving and things like that in here, definitely making this feel more alive. The grass definitely adds to the grown-up feeling. This right here is what I call a train workshop. Now, I did mention today that I was going to, well, decorate the upstairs here, and it's right behind this door. I mean, it's right behind this. Whew, that was a close one. I almost opened it, but you'll have to wait until next time to find out what's behind door number 1, because like I said, we're all out of time. But of course, if you did enjoy today's episode, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up, and definitely comment down below what you would like to see me work on in this series. I don't know, throw some ideas out and I might pick one of you guys out of the idea list, and we might actually put that into this world. That'd be pretty cool. Now, also, don't forget, down in the description below, I do have not only my Discord, which will have that schematic on there, but also the SMP community Discord, which will be linked down there as well. If you want to join and keep up, it makes it a whole lot easier to keep up with everyone's schedule, so you know when everyone else is posting their series. Without further ado, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode, and that huge thanks is going to go out to SYM Cap. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting me in one of the best ways possible, gaining access to the supporter servers, world downloads, and all kinds of other fun perks. So guys, check it out, link down in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.